and it's 6 p.m. And Menards will close in 1 hour. So I just wanted to say, since they quit doing the taking temperatures, it's been a little bit better. I mean, they're still requiring everybody to wear masks, and the customers have been really crabby lately, even about that, let alone the part where they're not allowed to take their children inside the store. I've seen customers still trying to sneak their kids in. I've seen customers trying to sneak in and get away with not wearing a mask, but eventually they get caught. I mean, the cashier on register 9-page management saying that customer went and listened to them and went inside not wearing a mask, and management literally went and found him and had a talk with him. I don't know what happened after that, but and it's not my business. In my opinion, once all this is done, it is May the 3rd. So, I'm kind of hoping that once the state of Wisconsin reopens, and I'm able to go antiquing again and thrifting and go out garage selling and go into estate sales. I think the estate sales at first are gonna do things a little differently. So I mean, they ain't gonna want everyone staying in line for so close to each other, and I don't think the lines are gonna be as big. Who knows? Only time will tell with that. Yeah, I don't know about getting that Atterbury Imperial piece, because I done my research online, and they're saying it could be a reproduction. So, and what they showed, what has a mark on there is, which is confusing. They say even some of them are made also by Imperial Lexon. So, it's like really, and yeah, $90 is a lot of money for that, let alone if they went to $70-some. And you always gotta figure sales tax. By saving my money for when the state does reopen. So, yeah. I mean, they do got a Native American piece, but I don't know if they would go down, because that is marked firm. So, and then I think they got like a Lusty piece, a Victorian Lusty, that is got some red and white on it, and some crystal danglies. But, they got some nice expensive stuff too, but, you gotta have money for that too. But you gotta look at what do they retail for. Them Lusties from what I've seen, the crystal ones are worth less than the one I've seen that is a colored one, so that does make it more valuable than clear. So, and I'm pretty sure even milk glass would have been worth less. So, being red and white, yeah, that's probably about priced right, but we'll see if they could go down on that, maybe, or that Native American piece, if they really, it's been sitting there for more than a year. It could be sat there for years, who knows. So, it's like once the state reopens, if these antique dealers and these vendors really want to get rid of the stuff that's been sitting there for, in their mind, too long, and they just want to move it and get some money out of it, I mean, they will sell it cheap enough, So, I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes you just gotta get rid of an item and make money on it. It's what they would probably think. But then again, I've seen items sit for many years at an antique store just because the price is really high, and it always depends on the dealer that rents out the booth, So, yeah. Otherwise, it's been really extremely busy, and a lot of us are looking forward to whenever we're told we don't have to, if we want to, wear a mask, But we don't know when that day will come, There has been a lot of complaints on the security guard. I guess I seen and heard a customer complain to manager Nicole that, even though he's not technically employed by Menards, he's hired to do his security temporary during this time. Complain about him hollering and saying, it ain't good for somebody that was a sexual assault victim. It's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. But he's also trying to do his job, but, he could try to tone it down a little. I mean, just to make both sides happy. But he is trying to make sure people are covering their nose and mouth, like how Menards wants, Making sure there isn't a super long line for returns and this and that. So, yeah. That's just how that's been, I think even the other thought I've had was, I've thought about even that 1930s rare Mickey Mouse clock if they had had it possibly. But then I'm also thinking, well, maybe if I kept so much of that money towards yard selling and going to estate sales, because, sometimes you can find a lot of good stuff for real cheap that you could flip if you had to flip it, if you know what you're doing, So, I'm not an expert on comic books, but they say certain ones are worth big money, and certain ones are worth hardly anything with comic books, and that's the same thing with anything. Even radios, there's certain ones, if they're working, they're worth their most, though. So, it's gonna be all hard to say.